video brought to you by Coffee Brand Coffee. It's the best coffee branded coffee that's coffee that's branded coffee. It's coffee. It's really good coffee. You should check it out. Go to coffeebrandcoffee.com. Use promo code VETS. That's VETS VETS. Get 10% off. Coffee!
I have a knife in my foot, Sergeant.
Oh, yes. Of course. That's it. The knife. What is your name, soldier?
Spitty Riker.
No. Your name is Private Idiot. Do you know why?
Because I have a knife in my foot.
What's up, everyone? I'm going to start this off a little bit different. We always start off with some big excitement and everything, but this is a very, very solemn day and a solemn week for what's happened in our country and the anniversary of what happened 80 years ago. 80 years ago today, the largest invasion force of all time in history occurred. So many souls were lost. Great Americans did amazing things, the greatest generation of all time. And we honor them today. We'll get into that. We'll talk a lot about that. And last week, we woke up to a different country. This is not America anymore. President Trump, for the first time ever in history, an American president was convicted, 34 felonies found guilty. And what I'm sure we will all agree with and we will have conversation with was a completely rigged Banana Republic type trial that was god-awful. And unless we get this fixed, we do not live in America anymore. This is not the United States of America. This is a completely different country. With that said, let's get around here and we'll say hi to new face down here and someone who has been slacking, hasn't been on here in a while. What's up, Air Force veteran, retiree, old man Mike? What's up, man?
Doing well. Car could be doing better. Got hit by a trash truck yesterday.
That's a pretty bad time.
It was too easy for him though. I was parked.
Yeah. You got to make it difficult. You got to move around a lot, but it's kind of difficult. I know when you're inside a building and your vehicle's just out there being victimized. You know, it sucks for me. I spent $2,500 to get my truck fixed, specifically trying to get the transmission fixed. They told me that the hard shifting and the noises I was hearing, it wasn't that. It was something else. So I spent $2,500 to fix something else, and guess what? It's still hard shifting and making noises. So. I'm going to have to get that worked out. I think I'm going to have to go get into somebody's fucking ass over there and get my shit fixed for real.
Yeah.
What is up? First time on the show, Alec Baldwin's finger. He never misses.
I'm doing great. Sounds like maybe someone needs to get a Toyota instead of a Dodge. But
yeah, get that foreign shit. Yeah, that's how you do it.
Hey, those Japanese cars are more American than the American cars now because they're actually made in Kentucky and stuff like that. So
yeah,
I love Dodge. I love Dodge Ram. It's my favorite. It's been for a long time.
I didn't even know that you had a Dodge, but based on the transmission problems, I just knew.
You know, I was thinking, I'm like, did we talk about my truck when I was out there? I don't remember that.
I'm a car guy, so I like to trash talk. But
I'm not much of a car guy, so I mean, I'll talk shit. Like I got a buddy who's got a Chevy or something. Like, oh, you got a Chevy? That's gross. I'm like, I don't actually fucking care.
But
so, little background here. Alec Baldwin's finger is quite infamous for a few things. One, the Alec Baldwin's finger killed somebody, but obviously not that one down here.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. Yeah, this one down here is quite infamous within the Friday Night Tights fellowship. Very well known. And also, you were the very first person who ever recognized me in public.
That's true.
I can't remember if I told you that, but yeah, we were at MegaCon in Florida, and you yelled out. I didn't even hear what you said. I just heard somebody yell, and I turned around, and you're looking at me, and then I'm like, me? And you're like, yeah, Soldier. Like, holy shit, somebody recognized me from my show. That's crazy. And then come to find out, it's the infamous Alec Baldwin's finger. So, and then very cool that when we were getting ready to go out to Las Vegas, you sent me an invite to go shoot with you and Yo Pops, who I saw in the chat here. What's up, Yo Pops?
Yo.
Oh shit! Before it disappears, we got Mike Harlow in the chat. What's up, Mikey? What's up, dude? Our special guest from last Saturday, an awesome fucking time. If y'all didn't see it, go back and watch Mike Harlow last Saturday. Hilarious dude. The fourth individual to come on here as a guest, drink with us, shot for shot, and hang out through the entire show. So he now will go. I'm setting up. I've got an idea to do a wall of honor on here to commemorate all the amazing guests that managed to do that. Yeah, and what's up, Yo Pops? So yeah, you guys set up a range day. You brought out that 50 cal behind you. I think all the guns are on there that you brought out.
Yeah, the M16, but it's got the different upper on it, and then the Mac up there.
Is this a Mac 11, right?
Yep, Mac 11 with a Lage upper on it.
Hell yeah. Yeah, the Mac 11 and the AR-15, both full auto. I've never shot either one of those guns. Actually, I've never shot a Mac 11 at all, but I've never shot either one of those full auto. And the fucking 50 cal, though, dude. Holy shit, what a fucking beast. You caught me by surprise when you told me, hey, Abby, we hadn't shot the gun yet. And he said, hey, come over here and shoot this standing offhand. I'm like, fuck you, dude. But all right, I guess I'll give this a try.
Yeah,
and
he's like, are you sure? I'm like, I've seen Elon Musk do it on Twitter, so...
You know what's crazy? I've been telling people this story, and I always tell the story wrong. That the thing is so heavy that I couldn't hold it long enough to be able to just make sure I'm going to hit it into the hillside. So I had to like set up and make sure I come down and fire it as soon as possible before I get too weak. Fact of the matter is that it's just. The gun is so big, and I'm scared as hell because I know how projectiles work. I was scared as hell to miss the background, miss the hill, and have that sucker keep on flying because I'll go on for a long damn way. So the problem just was every time I came down, as I move around, because it's really hard to steady it, it occasionally would bounce around to over the hillside. I'm like, fuck that. Like if I wanted to, I probably could have fired off a few rounds. But it would have taken a very good chance of missing the hillside, and that sucker's gone.
I think it's the Marine Corps handbook. They actually teach in there that you can use the M2, the Mod Deuce, as a artillery piece.
As an artillery piece?
Yeah, by raining down 50 cal rounds onto the enemy from 2.5 miles. I forget how many miles it is.
That is fucking cool. I never thought about that, but absolutely, I could see that just, or slower than that, but yeah, just literally rain down fire on somebody. That'd be fucking badass. Hell yeah. All right, let me get through here and say hi to some of this chat. Let's see. This is weird. I was very concerned about this because I saw these two chats pop in on the StreamYard side, but I never saw it over there on the actual YouTube side. But this guy here, who I've never heard before, you snake sucker, vote for felon 0047. At first, when I saw that, I thought it was an insult, but no, that's definitely a base Trump supporter right there. And Paul here said the force is shemale. Love you, Jeremy, in a shemale way. JK, LOL, fight on, brother. I have no idea who this person is or who he's talking to because we don't have a Jeremy here.
I think he meant Jeremy.
I guess that could have been a that could have been an autocorrect. Yeah. Jeremy to Jeremy. Yeah, I can see that. And let's see, the one and only alcohol finger popped in. JB, what's up, man? We got Weasel in the house. We got Bubba motherfucking Ford, Semper Supra, let's go. And of course, the Mike Harlow, the one and only. What's up, dude? Let's see, Mr. Death Donkey. What's up, man? Basically a Star Chamber trial. Yep, that's right. JB, married for 14 months, is praise and gratitude for all who served on this day. Absolutely. I was listening to, I was bounced between Fox News and Newsmax. I try to stay just on Newsmax today, but and on one of them, they were interviewing one of the very first Army soldiers who found the camps at Dachau. And I mean, him telling the story of recounting that, he was just breaking down, crying, seeing this, these prisoners that were in there, completely emaciated, or is that the right word? Emaciated, skinny. They didn't have any food in their belly, covered in flies and shit and everything else. And he's just busting down crying. I fucking felt like I was getting tearful just thinking about that. I'm like, I couldn't even imagine having to see that. Anyways, yeah. What's up, yo pops? They'll cheat in 2024, and then we'll will JFK Trump. Oh, I mean that's a possibility. I see them trying to kill him is the only way they can win right now, because they will try to cheat, but they can't. They can't. I don't think they can cheat enough to overwhelm how many votes he's going to get. But that's up for debate. We can talk about that. Shield of Dragons, what is up, man? TX, what's going on, TX? Chunk the Punk, and that is it. What is up, everyone in the chat? Love seeing you guys all here for this rough one. Oh, by the way, also I apologize. I know we haven't streamed in a while. I did explain before that I'm taking a little bit of a break, so here and there I'm gonna hold off on doing shows. So the best way to the best way to know is obviously ring that bell to make sure you get notifications when we're going on here on YouTube, and also go on to either Twitter or Instagram. Look up at Vets Talk and drop the gene. You'll find me. And I always put out every single time we go live or any other shows up, I always let people know on there. So if you want to get notifications, then do that cool stuff right there. What does he say? Did you tapioca brains poop himself? Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, crapped himself in Normandy. Fuck yeah, he did. All right. So one thing I want to do here. I think that I want to talk about Normandy. I want to talk about D-Day, and let's. I'm sure a lot of people have seen these numbers before, but just to really get it in there, because the 80th anniversary, it's worth acknowledging everything that happened. So we've got the World War II Museum facts here. I'll just go through a few of these things. Again, you probably heard this, but it's worth going over and really getting in and letting everybody remember the significance and how extreme this operation was. Allied force, more than 150,000 troops from all the different countries participated in the landing on Normandy. The Armada, 6,000 ships, 50,000 vehicles, and 11,000 planes. Watching Band of Brothers, when you see the scenes of all the planes flying in, we just see that image as they're getting ready to go in for the jump. Even in that image right there, it's like, wow, look at all those planes. But even that doesn't show the full 11,000 fucking planes. Now that's obviously not just all from the jump. That's overall, but that is insane, man. Casualties, 8,230 were killed from the United States troops, 2,700 from the United Kingdom, 1,074 from Canada, and Germany 4,000 and between 4,000 and 9,000. I mean I mean, amazing numbers, man. I mean, just mind-boggling that just in the period of like 24 hours, 8,230 American troops were killed or lost. And obviously, and that's it. What do you, Mike, being a big historian that you are, what do you think of all that?
On the German side, that estimate, that's they have no idea actually, because suddenly wiped out, and they made it. This is just like you can see by the spread in the numbers that they used the low side, basically the low side on the Allied and the high on the and the high side Allied. Just to say, must have been similar.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that does make sense. That going up to 9,000, that does make the range very close to what we lost as well, at least the combined numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think? You're really big into planes. What do you think about the idea 11,000 planes flying around that area in one operation?
Well, I need clarification as to how many aircraft were actually in the air. If they had, just for the invasion, it would have to be a combination of like motorized prop types, gliders, but the length of that spread from start to finish had to have been ungodly. I mean, basically the landing zone was 50 miles wide, basically, or thereabouts. Well, imagine if you got 11,000 planes trying to keep them separated in darkness and still keep them within the landing zone. So it boggles my mind to even think of how they could control something like that, because there was no radio stuff. It was like once they got off the ground, they took up formations, talked amongst themselves. And once they headed for the coast, I'm pretty sure they had to go radio silent. So,
yeah, I never actually thought about that. Yeah, of course. Yeah, you're right that they would go radio silent because they didn't have the same kind of technology that we have today. I mean, we have ciphertext and frequency hop, where the frequencies keep changing.
Yeah.
So I mean, we've got all kinds of technology now that we can, but also just the stealth factor. I mean, yeah, even in operation, modern operation, they would still have to go radio silent because they'd be able to triangulate where the signal's coming from. So yeah, even today, if they were talking to each other, then they would be able to know that there's troops are coming.
And they all had to stay fairly low, because I think you probably know this better than I do, but I think the drop altitude was like 1,000 feet or something.
So today, our combat jump altitude is only around 500 feet.
Yeah, so they were somewhere in that range when the troop ships had to drop them out.
Yeah,
and so whether it was 1,000 or 500, they had to all be at that range. They would have had some separation in elevation from each other, but they still had to maintain distance and everything else. In the dark with no contact.
Yeah, there's all kinds of the formation's very specific. They have to stagger the planes that way, obviously, that the air troopers don't end up getting hit by a bird or anything. But yeah, I never thought about that, what altitude they jumped at, because modern day today, when we do our regular just training jumps, it's usually about between 12 and 1,500 feet. But to stay below radar, they would jump at 500 feet, which is so low that you don't even get issued a reserve chute, because in 500 feet it won't open up anyways.
No.
So if your parachute fails, you're just a lawn dart at that time. So let me get here real quick for we got super chat. Wayne Rowe for $10. What's up, Wayne? MH53 crew chief here. Was with you guys there in Iraq to cheer all to all of you. God bless you and our grandfathers for laying the smackdown on sausage suckers, aka the Krauts. Love the show, USA. Thank you, man. Thank you, Ro. Curious. You were there in Iraq. I can't remember. Have we talked before? Were you there in my deployment? Let me know. Let me know when you were in Iraq. And we got Jack Deere over on the Rumble side. Howdy. What's up, buddy? Let's see. And real quick here. Member for 3 months, VAT Law with you want full retard membership. Thank you very much. By the way, VAT Law, I know you hit me up and I have been slacking. I'm going to get the t-shirt out to you, man. I'm so sorry. Things have been crazy. I still owe you and a couple other people for being members of the You Went Full Retard membership for 2 months, getting free t-shirts sent out to you guys. I promise it'll get out to you. To celebrate his 3 months, says, when I hear the phrase, thank you for your service, the World War II vets are the people in my head that earn that. Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's always weird when I hear it from me. They had the brassiest of balls. That's right, man. You're absolutely right. Alec Baldwin's finger. I know you're not a vet, but you are an awesome gun enthusiast, so we love that. I was
going to say, I actually took a Carnival cruise to Le Havre, France in 2012, and not even realizing that we planned our trip out that way, we went to Normandy, and it was like only a couple days before the anniversary. And everyone there was dressed up, driving around in like old American Army Jeeps and stuff like that. Like, it was really cool.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
I just dug up a piece of swag that I got. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's one of the clickers, and it says,
click it. Can you click it? Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah. It says June 6th. It's like kind of bright. And then it says D-Day on this side. There it is.
Oh, wow.
So this is just a replica. It's not like the real thing or anything.
But, okay. I thought it was a real historic
item.
No.
I bought it.
Awesome, though. That still is really damn cool.
Yep.
Man, I gotta look. I've never thought about that. I should look into getting some old airborne replica stuff. That's some cool stuff. I'm really upset that I never I was stationed in Italy for 3 years, and every single June 6th, members of my unit, the 173rd, would get invited to go to Normandy to participate in the honorary jump there. And I know people from all airborne units got invited, so there's 82nd and everything else. But I was so jealous of the guys who would get to do that. And I knew a guy who said he landed on somebody's house on the roof, and the old man was there's an old man that was out there sitting watching the jump. And when he got down, he apologized and goes, "Oh, it's okay. That happened X number of years ago too." So it was back in during the jump, World War II. Somebody landed on that same spot. So
that's pretty wild.
Yeah. I'm upset. I have so many regrets from my tour in Italy that I was so young. I got there when I was 18 years old, so I didn't take advantage of any of that the historical stuff that I should have. All I cared about is the fact that I could drink legally, and I was getting drunk every weekend. Fuck seeing all that historic stuff.
Basic debauchery.
Yeah, pretty much.
If you can get a chance to go to Normandy, I would highly recommend it. It was just insane seeing how many gravestones there are, seeing the actual memorial, and just kind of painting a real life picture to the actual beach, you know?
Yeah. One of my train operations, we went to Tunisia, and in Tunis, there, the capital, Tunisia was a location that had a battle there. I can't remember who they were fighting, if it was Germany or Italy. But we toured the cemetery there, and for those who don't know, all these locations for World War II and such, they didn't ship the bodies home. The bodies stayed there, and I see that. I'll get to you here in a minute. The bodies stayed there, and they created cemeteries that is actual American ground. Like, you go out there, you are walking on American territory, and it's a beautiful sight, but it's also very sad. Obviously, the one in Tunisia is nowhere the size of what I'm sure was there in Normandy. Man, I can't even imagine. It's crazy. It never even occurred to me in freaking Saving Private Ryan, in the beginning scene when he's in the cemetery. Obviously, that's the Normandy cemetery. For some reason, I'm thinking my entire life since watching that movie, I assumed that must have been a cemetery in America, like Arlington Cemetery. But no, obviously, it's got to be Normandy.
Well, yeah, because I hadn't even made that connection. myself, and I can't tell you how many times I've watched the movie.
You never even thought
Excuse
about
me.
that. Yeah. Because, I mean, the
No,
first
it just,
thing you see is the big American
yeah,
flag. So you
but you're
assume that
right,
must be
because
America.
for him to see, I can't remember what the guy's name was. Anyway, geez, I feel like, who's that guy? President? Joe Biden. Yeah. You
Former
can't
vice
remember.
president,
Can't
respect
remember
the
shit.
office.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
So, yeah, I hadn't made that connection, but you're right. It would have had to been Normandy, because he would have been there.
Yeah. Yeah. That's amazing. Yeah. I never thought about that.
No, me neither.
All right. Real quick. Venom Blade, what's up? Cav Scout, member for 8 months. Glad to be here. Glad to have you here, buddy. And since I still so funky with the freaking StreamYard, I can't show Rumble rants, which are super chats over on the Rumble side. So I got to share the entire window. So let's do this. Got that law over on the Rumble side for 20. Says, because you weren't streaming Tuesday, happy International Bulldozer Awareness Day. And rest in peace, Marvin Heemeyer. What?
You don't know the story about the man that was kicked down left and right by some family in Colorado that were politicians. So he went out and bought a what was it? A Komatsu dozer from auction, and he put it in his garage and he up armored it for the next like 9 months, and then bulldozed the entire town, and is now known as Killdozer.
What the fuck? I
I've
did
never
not
heard
hear
that.
about that.
Oh,
Dude, Netflix made an actual documentary on it, and it's spot on. You should check it out.
Oh, I gotta check it out. Like
Yeah.
as soon as I was seeing that, I was thinking of the guy who took a tractor and like rolled over like 3 cop cars one time, something like that. Like some.
Well, okay, so the dozer, they tried to stop it with like a road grader a couple times, and it was like, okay, whatever, and just went through it. And then he just started going through buildings, and he tried to take out a propane plant and all kinds of stuff. It was
Dude.
crazy. He had a 50 cal poking out of the back, but he kept hitting the ripper on the dozer. Because the optic sits a little bit higher than the actual barrel, and he kept hitting the ripper.
Shit. Yeah, he finished up. He says sometimes reasonable men have to do unreasonable things. That's absolutely true, man. That is. We're getting to that point, dude. Like it's gonna start getting really crazy with everything going on, man. I've been saying, I'm still gonna say it. No matter what they do, look, they want us to commit violence. So no matter what happens, don't do it. They want us to commit violence. That's why they're doing this shit. That's why they're pushing us, they're kicking us. But we cannot respond because they've got all the psyop on their side. They've got all the media. They've got everyone intertwined to and ready to go to say, look at this. It's worse than January 6th now. These white supremacists really are the worst terrorist threat that we have in this country. Don't fall for it, man. Don't fall for it. That being said, though, after this election, if we see that it is rigged again and Biden wins, I'm not going to say what to do, but I'm probably going to stop saying that.
Well, Adam, just to be safe, the only reason the American flag is back there is because, well, I didn't have a pride flag because it's June. So I thought, well, I have to put up a flag, so I'll use the best one I've got.
That is our pride flag, man. That is the pride flag. All right, and since Vatlaw is getting things started off right, he gets this.
It has begun.
Cheers to you, Vatlaw. Reminder for those who don't know, because I didn't put it out here, I keep on slacking on that. Anyone who's new here, we do play drinking game rules here. Everyone in the audience can participate as well. Any single super chat, we do social. And $20 or more, and we do shots. And we got great videos of abusing the fuck out of our Lobel punching bag Jeremy to commemorate every single one of those shots. All right. Let's see. Getting back. Did you have anything else you want to say there, ABF, about Normandy?
Just that I'm remembering Easy Company, correct, where they were on the actual gliders and they were in tow, right?
The 506.
Right. Is the 506 who Easy Company was based on?
Yes, they jumped.
They jumped out of
They
prop planes.
yeah,
Okay.
Well,
I always want to call them DC-3s, but it's
Oh, that's right.
C-47s.
Yeah.
C-47s.
so yeah, they're 506, but well, okay, well the airborne, the air elements, the Army Air Corps units, I guess, because I mean you said you're talking about the gliders, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, so the gliders would obviously be a part of the same unit that the airplanes were jumping.
Oh, they were just they were being towed by those people
By
that were
the
shooting out of that plane also.
C-47s, yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, and so yeah, there was even so just like our airborne wings that we got here, there actually was glider wings for people who were part of the glider elements. It just had a little glider in the middle instead of a parachute.
Crazy.
Yeah, and I think the gliders, Mike, correct me if I'm wrong, that was mostly for equipment, right? To get equipment on the ground.
That was the main purpose because they could carry heavier stuff, but
Yeah.
plenty of them were loaded with troops. But that would have all been based around how they were going to use whatever was the heavy stuff, the vehicles, the guns or whatever,
Mhm.
artillery and stuff that they loaded. There is a story of a general that, and it's actually in um, yes, it is Saving Private Ryan, where they show up where a bunch of the gliders have gone down and they're treating wounded, and one of the pilots from the glider shows who's the guy that was on, the actor that everybody knows,
What?
with the Saving Private Ryan, the guy that was the lead character, Captain, whatever he
Hanks.
was, huh?
Tom Hanks.
Yes, Tom Hanks. He's shown the glider pilot showing Tom Hanks one of the very crashed gliders that had a general had armored a seat, or the men had armored the seat for the general, and they hadn't told anybody. It changed the balance of the glider, and it came in hard and killed all of them. That was a true story. That really did happen.
Really? I thought in
yeah.
the movie it wasn't a glider. I thought it was a plane.
No, it was a glider. They towed the glider because they were loaded with troops and vehicles and all kinds of stuff.
I didn't realize that. I see you, Vatlaw. I'll check that out. Thanks, man. Yeah, those gliders, man. I mean, even if they weren't armoring them, throwing the armor on them, they're fucking death traps, anyways. Those things
Just
crash
all
like
wooden
shit.
sticks, canvas.
Yeah,
There was nothing. But I was. This is something I didn't know about, Adam. But you may have a better idea of where I'm talking about. But if you're in Randolph and you're coming up, whatever the road is that goes up towards McDonald's, yeah.
Okay.
You know the one I'm talking about?
I know what you mean.
Yeah. Off of that road to the right, you go in a short distance, and there is a monument to a B-17 that crashed there. And I didn't know. Yeah, in Vermont. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's a monument to it. And by chance, a friend of mine was having his car serviced down this road. And we're going down the road, and he goes, "There's a monument over there." He says, "I've never read it." So I stopped to read it. I mean, who puts a monument in the field? Turns out it was dedicated to the crew members of the plane, actually to all of them, but 3 of them died in the crash. And then I did research to find out the story behind the plane. These guys were on their way to England, so they picked up a brand new aircraft.
Like, we got
Too long. Okay. Anyway, it's there.
Where we can talk backstage about it. I got to keep on going with the topic.
Oh yeah. I forget this is.
We're live, trying to entertain people, not shooting the shit on the phone. I love you though.
Oh no, it's fine.
Shadow Chaser, load plan makes all the difference. Am I right? T2T Nation. What does he mean? Anybody know? 2T2
Load plan.
I know load plan. I mean, I know what you mean by that. I know that Mike here understands what he's talking about too, because he's a load master. Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to say, well, I know what that is in the Air Force, but I wasn't reading. I was still, like trying to get over the chastising, but I'll get used to that. No,
what is T2?
Two T2s when the aerial ports. I don't know how large the T2 extends, like in the range, but because where I was in the in the aerial port, that's what we had for the first initials. It used to go back to like 605 something, I think it was. That was the number. Like you guys have what does the Army have your code for the job duties you do?
MOS code.
MOS. That's so in the Air Force, it's career something. Right. So that's the nomenclature for the different branches. Ours was aerial ports or air cargo.
I got you. Okay, cool.
Air transportation. There you go.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I learned something about that when I did that one UAV. It was called the wind support aerial delivery system, and it had compartments that would open up and drop certain things, and you just we had a whole system. You had to learn how to balance it all out and everything. So I'm familiar with how that works as well, but not to the full degree as you guys. All right, so in summation, with what we're talking about, with the massive destruction and obviously the losses of life and the incredible heroism that we all can't even imagine with these young kids out there for this incredible operation that started Operation Overlord, which eventually ended the war 80 years ago, man. It's something to keep in mind and really just put I hate this the idea of thoughts and prayers, but definitely put thoughts and prayers to all those who went through that and the families and everything else. It's absolutely incredible. With that, though, I wanted to get on topic talking about D-Day that a lot of people I know don't really know about. That there's a unit that the Army created, and also I was doing some research on this as well. That there's British elements too. That was purely about deception. This is actually the precursor to what is now modern day Army psychological operations and PSYOP and other elements as well. And they were called the Ghost Army. The Ghost Army, which has, let me see, I'm going to pull this up here and I'll show this. This is actually a very big reason why Normandy was a success as well. And I think a lot of people didn't even know this. And I'll explain here in a minute why that is. But real quick, the Ghost Army activated on January 20th, 1944, so a few months before the Normandy invasion. The 23rd Headquarters Special Troops, known as the Ghost Army, was first mobilized multimedia tactical deception units in U.S. Army history, consisting of an authorized strength of 82 officers and 1,023 men, under the command of Army veteran Colonel Harry Reeder. Let's see. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. Hitler thought they knew that there was an invasion coming, but Hitler thought it was a completely different location because of the Ghost Army. And I'm going to play a quick, this video is only 2 minutes, 24 seconds long, but this will give a quick explanation as to what I'm talking about, how this Ghost Army managed to deceive Hitler into throwing all of his attention to one completely different area away from Normandy, while the real invasion was in fact happening in Normandy. Check this out.
During World War II, a top-secret U.S. Army unit fought battles not with bullets, but with stagecraft, using inflatable tanks, phony soundscapes, and fake radio transmissions to fool Nazi soldiers. Its codename? Ghost Army. The 23rd Headquarters Special Troops brought together career Army officers, artists, and audio experts, and from 1944 to 1945, they were united in a unique goal: using the art and science of military deception to mislead the Germans. To trick the Germans, the Ghost Army had a four-part approach. Number 1, visual deception. Inflatable vehicles like tanks could be positioned by just a few people, but they looked suspiciously close to the real thing. Number 2, radio deception. Fake radio traffic mimicked the Morse code sending style of operators in specific Army units, making phony dispatches sound authentic. Number 3, audio deception. Engineers recorded and edited sound effects of Army vehicles and troops on the move to create an illusion of an army where there was none. Number 4, impersonation. Members of the Ghost Army would wear patches or insignias of other Army units to confuse spies in nearby towns or to mislead German soldiers who were observing the Ghost Army from a distance. Deception in warfare isn't new. It's been around for thousands of years. In the 8th century BC, the poet Homer wrote about the Greeks hiding inside a big wooden horse to ambush the Trojans and win the Trojan War. In the 6th century BC, the Chinese general Sun Tzu wrote, "All warfare is based upon deception in the art of war." And during the American Civil War, Confederate generals painted logs to look like cannons when they were short on weapons. The Ghost Army had technology that none of these ancient armies had. But what really made the Ghost Army unique was that they were one of the first military units created for the sole purpose of deception. This turned out to be a strategy that saved thousands of lives and helped the Allies win the war.
And there you go. That is, like I said, that is the precursor to modern day psychological operations, where now it's obviously it's much more sophisticated now. There still are deception techniques, but the entire concept of what PSYOP does is an actual full I'm not going to get into it. Trust me, it's complicated. It's very, very fucking complicated. But yeah, back then, there's another video I thought about playing, but I'll just explain it. Yeah, they set up those thousands of these inflatable tanks, trucks, airplanes in a completely different location of England. That the surveillance operations by the Nazis saw all this happening, and all of Hitler and all of his generals, they were completely convinced that that was actually where the invasion was going to come from. So the night when the forces were first detected to be coming in, the general who saw them coming in didn't even want to contact Hitler because he was worried that it could just be a deception. When Hitler even woke up, so they were first detected around 6 o'clock in the morning. When Hitler woke up 10, even he thought that couldn't be the actual invasion because the actual invasion's over there. This has got to be the deception. So they never rerouted any of the troops over to Normandy. And the rest is history.
But help me out on this. Isn't the Potemkin village? Have you heard of that? Because I was thinking that Potemkin was some kind of a artist or whatever that figured out how to make props and stuff for movies, and they used that technology or whatever for this. But I don't know how all that ties together, because as you were playing the video and even talking, it reminded me of other deceptive stuff that they used, like the little miniature fake paratroopers they dropped with firecrackers on them.
Yeah.
And Patton was assigned to that fake army unit. So they thought the like most important general, because he was going to be the leader of the invasion. That's, if he was there, that must be where it was going to cross at. So
yeah. Yeah, you're right. I mean, there was a lot of deception techniques. In fact, when she said there in the video, she said that these guys would wear other army unit patches. Actually, the bigger significant thing that they did that you can see here, they made up entirely fake units that did not actually exist. All of these patches on here, none of these were real units. I specifically remember this one down here with the spider, the airborne unit here. I remember seeing this painted on the side of a building at Airborne School in Fort Benning. I saw this one, and I think all of these ones were up there. And I always thought, what the hell is this unit right here? It says 135th Airborne Division. I'm like, what is that unit? I've never heard of that. It's because it never existed. It never existed. This unit of some odd, like only 1,000 some odd soldiers would go walk around with these patches on and convince Hitler that there's an entire other airborne division by the U.S. Army. but it's a unit that never existed. These are just deception soldiers walking around. Because the thing is that airborne at the time was the most elite. They're the most feared units that you could have out there. So to see these airborne tabs, that might as well be a special forces tab. That's why they created 5 different airborne units to make them believe that we had more airborne units out there other than just the 101st and the 82nd.
So all the patches are fake?
Every single one of these. None of these exist. These are all fake units.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah, and the spider one's pretty badass looking too, by the way.
I know, right?
I know. I know. It just reminded me of the news story about flying spiders or something that come from Asia.
But yeah, so I mean, and a lot of obviously what they're showing that video still happens today. Obviously the speaker operations, you see whenever you see a speaker truck or a speaker on top of a truck, that's a PSYOP unit. We call them TPTs, tactical PSYOP teams.
I thought that was the ice cream truck.
Come on, kitties, make your ice cream. No, those are just the molesters. I gotta scroll back up here. I was about to miss Mozamboni. What's up for $2? Says, hey, I know that ABF guy. He's an asshole. Yeah, kind of is. Social.
Not gonna deny it.
I mean, he has killed somebody allegedly. But yeah, the entire that Ghost Army shit, man, is fucking cool. And to see that as like the precursors and everything, like they're talking about like the Trojan horse on our emblem has the rook from a chessboard, and everyone thinks that's just, but the rook from the chessboard actually comes from the Trojan horse. So that's why the rook is used because in PSYOP on our emblem, because the Trojan horse is the deception technique. And there's been videos out there. If anybody's seen the weird Ghost in the Machine video, that is a PSYOP promotional video, you'll see that Ghost Army PSYOP patch in there, and the entire concept they're talking about goes back to the Ghost Army. So yeah. It'd be really interesting to see an alternate history of what would have took place if Hitler wasn't deceived, if they didn't put all those forces in that other location and everything was actually there at Normandy. I wonder if we even would have won that war.
I don't even think they would have attempted it. They had enough trouble with the deception because the Panzers were being held in reserves. And if they had been released to go to Normandy, that whole thing would have changed, and they knew it. So they had to make sure that the Panzers were left far enough back. I mean, there's a whole history behind how the Panzers used to be under Rommel's control, and then Hitler took, 2 or 3 of the, I don't know how they divide up their shit, but Hitler kept most of them and said he was the only one that could dispatch them. And it took like a day before they realized that Normandy might be the real landing, and they released them, and it was too late for them to be really effective. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, hey, ABF, stand up a little bit.
Stand up?
Just don't you don't have to stand up all the way. Just look at that. Well, that's wrong, bud. Sporting the Vets Talking shirt. Got the
right.
I know that's the one that's got the forces fucked on the back.
Yep.
Mike, show out the hat. Got the Vets Talking hat rocking there. And I've got the Make the Army Great Again hat. We're all sporting some of the Vets Talking gear here. I love it. Thanks, guys. All can be found in the Vets Talking shop. Links in the channel description. Just hit shop. What were you gonna say, Mike?
I was just gonna say, you keep those royalty checks coming into us. We'll wear whatever you got.
Yeah, it's in the contract. So
it's in the contract.
We'll say nice things too.
Let's see. What was the? Weasel says Rachel Levine knows all about fake units. That's why I was ready for that button. Had my finger on the button for that one. Yep, fucking 4-star Admiral Rachel Levine. Ralph.
Yeah, every time I see it.
Yeah. I just wanted to point out the amount of innovation that was done during that era just for that one battle is pretty cool. They pulled out every single tool that they possibly could, including inflatable tanks, you know.
Yep. Yeah, no, and I don't think I said it, but yeah, you were right, Mike. When you talk about it was some movie producer that had the knowledge on how to make those things. That's what they
Talkin,
Wow.
that's how they created all that. Yeah, that's movie technology. Well, all of the speed at which a lot of technologies get created more often than not come from military needs. Like I said, modern day marketing comes from the research for psychological operations. All the techniques we learn in PSYOP, the differences in what emotions are invoked by different colors. The research was done by military PSYOP, and now it's used in marketing. That's how they found out. I think it was the color orange makes you hungry. I can't remember which one, but
I think it's red.
Could be red. But
yeah, I think it's red.
Got this red background. Is anybody getting hungry?
I'm always hungry.
Yeah, me too. I was saying backstage, I'm starving. I didn't eat anything before we did this. I am. This alcohol is going to get to my head really fucking fast here, guys. Let's see. I got to say hi to somebody who popped in over on the Rumble side. What's up, man? Nogi Zaka. What's up, man? Yo, I don't think I've seen you in the chat before. Welcome to Vets Talking if you are new here. So, all right. So, yeah, that was a good little tidbit of information I wanted to share with y'all. It sounds like Mike was already aware. Did you know about that, ABF? About the deception thing?
No, actually. I may have heard it in the past, but I had totally forgotten it until you brought it up.
Yeah. It's I mean, obviously, those guys, they themselves, obviously were not in very much danger, I'm sure, in what they need to do, but what an incredible fucking impact they had, though, man. I mean, they can be credited as being a huge, if not incredibly vital part of having won the Normandy invasion and won the war in general. And they didn't even have to fire a shot.
I mean, multi-prong attacks work the best, and one of those prongs was a PSYOP. So,
it's now today, it's always done. It's always done. Whenever you see those maps of where units are, you guys might not see them, but in military magazines like Army Times, Air Force Times, and whatnot, when the wars were happening, there was always a map that was showing where all the units are. You've got a brigade of 82nd here, a battalion of 101st is here. Never will you see where the locations of PSYOP units are, but they're everywhere. Every single combat unit, every single battalion has one tactical PSYOP team attached to it. It's always the case. No matter what is going on, we are always operating in PSYOP. It's always happening. It's a global operation. What's up, Wayne Rowe, for $5? Is inflatable tanks. I have a girlfriend like that.
Got to keep them oiled up so they don't squeak.
Thanks for the $5, man. Social.
Keep a
What's that?
Keep a patching kit close by just in case.
Right. All right. Well, so I'm glad we did the conversation. Yeah, 80th anniversary of Normandy. Absolutely amazing. 40th anniversary of the Reagan speech on Normandy, which I never really knew much of. Freaking Newsmax was showing the entire speech earlier today. Pretty amazing. I'm sure you probably saw that speech live there, Mike, right?
Me see it?
Yeah, the Reagan speech.
You lost me. I was thinking of something else. I know it's distracting because one thing I really wanted to bring up was one of the innovative ideas they had were the tanks that would float, and they would drive them off of the landing craft into the shore, and they all sank. Crews all have gone. Yep, you heard of that?
No, I didn't know about that.
Yeah, they took Sherman tanks and they built a canvas wall around the top of them. And what that was supposed to be was the wall to keep the water out and the tank would float. but they never figured on how far out to sea these tanks were going to be released. They were meant to be closer to shore. So they released them too far out. The waves were way too high, and no one in the tank crews knew anything about a boat. They didn't know about the currents drifting, pushing them away from the shoreline. None of it. They did just what they were trying to do. They got in the tank and things went out and sank. And recently they've been doing some underwater work, and they found some of them that were sitting on the bottom.
Wow.
But that was just like these guys never got a chance to fight.
Yeah. Yeah. Yo Pops, SOP units working domestically. Okay. UCMJ, it's not allowed. It's illegal. You cannot perform psychological operations on American citizens. It's strictly forbidden.
We don't need the military.
Surely.
We got the FBI to do it.
Yeah, I was gonna say now. Also, I can say that when we got deployed to New Orleans after Hurricane Katrina happened, and we were I forget the exact term, the public information dissemination element, some shit like that. We were being used directly, operated by FEMA to help get information out to the people about what was going on. We gave them routes. We tell them routes to get to the Superdome. That was a great idea. We passed the information on health wise, telling them don't eat certain foods if it's this, and don't drink the water, blah blah blah, whatever they need. What was messed up is that we still went through the entire psychological operations process. So we did target audience analysis on American citizens. Part of the process is to find the vulnerabilities of your target audience, among many other things. So we did a PSYOP analysis. We did establish vulnerabilities. And so the fine line on where all that happens, I really don't know exactly how it works out. But bottom line is we're not supposed to do that. Obviously with the intention of, PSYOP, like if they're to be activated to manipulate the election, obviously that'd be very, very bad. Now, I can't remember the name of it, but CIA has an entire division in their department that is their own version of PSYOP. It just has a very different name. It's something innocuous that nobody would really pick up on. Now, would they be performing things in operations in the USA? Wouldn't put it past them. And I would not be surprised at all if the CIA's division of doing that has been analyzing, finding American vulnerabilities and finding ways to manipulate us in one way or another. And they're the ones who are passing information down that's getting out to the media. And that's why the media is so fucking effective in brainwashing our country right now. So with that, where's I going to go next?
You were talking about Reagan. Well, that's a whole nother thing. But I distracted you with the tank story. But
yeah, all good. CIA and FBI, wouldn't be surprised, man. Would not be surprised.
I think it's pretty much been demonstrated. Just it takes Congress forever to dig out every little piece of information, and you find out that's just the tip of the iceberg.
What the hell just happened?
Your internet went out for like 4 seconds.
That was right when I'm talking about the CIA and FBI. That was fucking weird. Yeah, that was fucking weird. I was talking, and all of a sudden Mike is just talking there. I'm like, what the fuck just happened? Weird, man. Okay, I'm not gonna get a tinfoil hat. They're watching us.
We angered the Matrix.
Oh, yeah,
dude.
Yeah. So everything we've been finding out is we're just getting the bare minimums of what's being done behind our backs. It's just a matter of time that the plan is there. It's just we'll fight it, and whether we can win or not, who knows?
Well, we find out about this stuff after a decade or 3 from declassified materials. So
right,
if we're lucky. Christ, when I was a kid and Kennedy was assassinated, I was told that like in 50 years, we're going to release all the information.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? That's come and gone.
Yeah.
And We don't know any more now than we did when I was 14, 15.
Yeah, Trump was in an interview and did just say that he's gonna make sure that it all gets revealed. And that he did manage to get some release, but he wasn't able to get it all out there. So hopefully he'll make that happen. Was let's see, what are you saying here? Was that because a main part of PSYOP is information distribution? I see what you're saying. Yeah, with the Katrina thing. No, PSYOP is not meant to be information distribution. No, that's not our job. That is public affairs does that, and there's also what was it called? Information warfare, something like that. There's another thing that people get confused with PSYOP and also thinks that it's one and the same. It's like information warfare, some shit like that. What they are though is specific. They're not trained. Like PSYOP is an MOS. It's an entire job. You go to school and that is your job. The information warfare guys are people like they can be infantry or anyone else, and they get trained to get in there and use information to distribute specifically like news. Like they're spreading news out there to a public, but they're using specific news to make sure that people do so that they can get a reaction out of it. Like if to constant, like obviously we want them to hate the bad guys, right? We want in Iraq, we wanted them to hate the terrorists out there in Iraq, hate ISIS. So they'll just continuously put out, if they blow up a mosque, then they put out a news report, hey, they blew up a mosque. That doesn't take any training to understand what you're going to do. You're going to get a reaction, hopefully, that's going to say, hey, now we're angry at them because they blew up the mosque. Or we can say, hey, civil affairs just dug a well for you guys, and now you have water. So, okay, that's news. Okay, so now hopefully the reaction is going to be, now we like Americans. For PSYOP, it's like I said, it's much more convoluted because you're doing target audience analysis. You're looking for vulnerabilities. You're looking at how to reach them. It's a huge process. But we're specifically not just to spread information. We are using information in a specific way to get a reaction and have the target audience act in a certain way that we want them to, that's favorable to the operation that we're performing. Did I explain that well enough? People confused? I think eyes are rolling in the back of everyone's head right now, I think.
See how polite I can be?
And yes, public relations is exactly. They are specifically just news. They're just putting shit out. But public relations is actually more for us. And like for the U.S. public. That's what public relations do, is they are talking to the American public in order to let people know what's going on in the military. And obviously that's fucking like damage control as well. If the army
that would be the voice of PSYOPs, right? Public relations.
No, public relations is only to American public, to tell the American public what's happening in the army. But if like something fucks up, like someone fucked up in an airplane crash, then public relations has to do damage control and explain what happened. And that's just to keep the public happy with what the military is doing, essentially.
But isn't some of that PSYOPs? It's bullshit.
I was just gonna say, like, there's different degrees of it, and that's still kind of a PSYOP.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
But again, though, they're not getting specifically trained on how to manipulate people the way that PSYOP does. Now, obviously, they're working in ways like journalists, and I'm sure they probably do have training. Like, okay, in this scenario, you need to they're probably training how to use words properly to explain yourself in the right way. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, I've never done public relations, so I have no idea what exactly they do, but. Yeah, the idea of actually with the intention of manipulating people's thoughts and minds is very different, I'm sure, in many ways. You guys are great. Thank you so much for all of your contribution.
I mean,
I think as long as you had a shovel.
You're not going to like the direction I'm going to go in, so I'm just going to...
What direction are you going to go in?
Well, there's different generations of PSYOPs. And we're in currently what they call a fifth generational warfare when it comes to psyop.
Oh yeah,
And-
I've heard General. Who's the general that has a book about that?
Is it? It's not
Flynn.
Flynn, is it? Okay.
Flynn, yeah.
Yeah.
He's been talking about fifth generational warfare.
Yeah, and I actually heard about it before he wrote that book from, I can't remember, some YouTube channel. But this guy strung all these different psyop generations together. It was kind of interesting. But yeah, we're currently in one where information is king, and I mean, you kind of see why the government wants to get into all of different social media platforms, video platforms, and I mean, hell, there's even articles where they flat out admit it through Congress, getting into Discord servers and gaming servers and stuff like that. So,
dude, when I was getting out of the military, and I was in PSYOP at that time when I got out, I heard people talking. This is when this is in 2009. MySpace was the big thing for a long time, but Facebook was just picking up. I still hadn't even had a Facebook account yet at that point, but I heard from somebody in PSYOP. It's very compartmentalized. So like what's going on at the high levels as far as like research and everything like that of what's going on in psychological warfare, I'm not privy to that. Like I'm just down at the ground level, just putting shit out. So I had somebody was telling me that there was research being done on how to use social media like Facebook. The guy said specifically that to use in psychological operations. And after I got out was when the color revolutions happened in North Africa, in Egypt, Tunisia, and Libya, all those places. And then I saw in the stories that is theorized, is believed that all those revolutions started because of Facebook posts.
wow.
And I'm like, ooh, and I just heard that Army PSYOP is looking into how to do that.
Yeah.
So not saying that's what happened, just saying what I heard. And that's the case. I think a lot of people did theorize that was American and possibly some other countries doing that, had all those uprisings happen in, I think it was in 2009. It's like right after I got out. That was when Libya, when Gaddafi got taken down because of the uprising out there. Yeah, before Facebook, it was MySpace. Yep.
Who was in the White House? Wasn't Hillary Clinton the Secretary of State?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't her name come up in a lot of that?
Yeah. Oh yeah, Arab Spring. That's what it was. Yeah, the Arab Spring. Thank you, Shieldwall. Yep. That was Obama's administration.
Yep.
And yeah, Hillary was Secretary of State.
And what do we got going on now?
Amazing, isn't it? Just the coinky dinks that happen.
Well, history always repeats itself.
Yeah, I didn't think it would be repeating itself this fast, though.
No.
Now we're just doing it. Now it's repeating every 5 years.
Yeah, the records are getting smaller.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about the big thing. Trump. Trump got prosecuted. He got convicted in a bullshit trial on his Friday, right?
It was last.
I believe it was
last Thursday.
Thursday.
They announced. I think it was Thursday at at 5 o'clock or something that they announced the counts that he was guilty on. No.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
I was.
I think it was Thursday.
I was gonna do a show on Thursday. Sorry guys that we didn't do it. I found myself in the ER that day. I was in the ER and I watched that all happen and unfold on my phone when that all went down. And I didn't have time to do any show prep or anything. And obviously I wasn't feeling very good. I'm not going to talk about exactly what happened just yet. Maybe I'll let you guys know.
Did you get the brownies I sent you?
Damn, that's right. They tasted a little weird. Yeah. Thank God I got my stomach pumped. Anyways,
I didn't.
No.
Should have told you don't eat the whole batch.
But yeah, man, I was watching so many of these shows and everyone said the same thing. When we think about 9/11, people who were there when Kennedy got shot, there's certain days when certain events happen and you'll never forget where you were. You know, I'll never forget where I was when 9/11 happened. I was in Grafenwehr, Germany, and I remember exactly the moment when the planes were starting to hit. And I'll never forget the fact that I was sitting there on a gurney in a waiting room and watching on my phone when the announcement came out that he was found guilty on all 34 charges. And I'll never forget that, man. That was I wasn't surprised at the same time, because we know how rigged that entire process was, and we can get into the nit and gritty on that. But I just at least what are you guys' opinions on that? You think is that comparable in the same way? Like, you'll never forget where you were when 9/11 happened, Mike?
I'm not sure that it had the same impact. The kind of like things 9/11, Kennedy assassination, those were, somebody died. That was bad. And
Our country died with this.
And well, it did. Disappointment is like the emotion, disappointment, and followed by anger that, this is happening. But Trump, I never believed that it wouldn't happen. I just wanted to believe that it wouldn't. But I always felt that it was going to happen, because it's New York. I know what goes on. So anyway, I felt bad about that, and then I got angry about it. But you're right. Everything has changed as far as the way this country is governed right now. But I'm not. I mean, the particular events. What we're doing now is way bigger, way greater. Too early to get really upset in the regard of the moment where, you find out your president's been assassinated, or you watch planes fly into buildings. Those were angry moments, but you didn't see the country. Well, maybe some did. As a kid, Kennedy being assassinated, I wasn't as as my parents were. But when 9/11 happened, I knew that was bad. But what's happening in this country now is like cancer.
Yeah. You're right on that. It's like cancer. It's like this. It's metastasizing.
At a very fast rate.
Yeah, exactly. That's a great analogy. Thank you for that. That's a great fucking analogy. You're right. As opposed to where, like something like 9/11, when we watched that happen, that's like getting shot, in the arm. That's a sudden impact. What are your thoughts there, ABF?
To be honest, when they said that he was guilty on all 34 counts, I just kind of rolled my eyes, like, of course he is. It didn't surprise me at all. They've been going at this guy for years now. I still think that he holds the title of Teflon Don, and the appeal process will take care of it, but it's going to be after the election. So,
yeah, I'll never forget that, because in my opinion, the way I was looking at it is, this is like I said, it's the death of our republic. When they can get away with this shit now, we are living in a banana republic. It is absolute lawfare, and they got away with it. And I do still feel confident, though, that in the appeals, I won't be surprised if the actual appeals court won't let him get off on that, but it'll at least get to the Supreme Court, and I'm confident that the Supreme Court will what's the term I'm thinking of?
Well, they'd have to submit it to the Supreme Court. I don't think that they've done that yet. I think they're still trying to rely on the appeal process, because the way that they did the judgment, with the jurors are allowed to pick and choose whatever they want, I think that was actually against the rules.
Oh yeah, they're saying if four of you believe this one, four of you believe this one, then it can be the same one. Yeah, and the way I saw some, I think it's Joe Napolitano was explaining that there's the jury sheet. There's the sheet that specifically is written out on what all the verdicts were, and that hasn't been released. And he said that we probably won't see it. However, that is going to be seen in like the appeals court, and if it goes to the Supreme Court, they'll be able to see it. And yeah, absolutely. If that was the case, if this was not a 100%. All 12 of them said he's guilty on all these 34 charges, then yeah, absolutely. As long as they're being fair, then they should absolutely drop the case. That's not the term. What is the term I'm thinking of? It's not drop the case, but it's overturn. Overturn,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
They overturn
the conviction. Yeah.
Yeah. So
the problem is the time it takes to do all this. And even to make an appeal to the Supreme Court to bypass all the other shit, you've got to have a well-documented brief or whatever that they're going to take to the court to argue their position. That shit don't come quick nor easy. And as you just described, that sheet that Napolitano was referring to, I forget what it was, but that if that's important to what they want to present to the Supreme Court, they have to wait to be able to get that stuff. So, none of this is going to move quickly. Look how long it's taken just to get the one thing that they could actually get him in court for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it was meant to drain funds from him too, but it's
Yes,
actually had
exactly.
the reverse
And
effect.
even with a conviction, they knew, it'll be overturned, but we're still dragging him through the mud.
Yep. The more time that they drag this out, the more time he's in a courtroom and not on the campaign trail. But that's not even working out for them. I mean, they are so stupid that every single time they do this shit, he just gets more popular.
And he uses, if they restrict him, keep him from traveling, he brings the Trump platform to the communities he's in New York. And it's working very well. It doesn't take long to get to New Jersey from New York. Look what he got there, over 100,000 people in New Jersey.
Yep. I'm going to have to get this picture up here. I've got a picture of a comparison. Someone say something while I get this up.
I mean, no one really thought that he was going to get that large of a turnout in New Jersey, right?
It's New Jersey. What more can you say? It'd be like trying to suggest that somehow you knew that New York would go Trump. It's not expected, but nobody would expect 100,000 people in New Jersey, but they're starting to understand that the Democrat Party is not what it was, even though it was bad even 50 years ago. It's not the same now. It's Marxist masquerading as Democrats or progressives or liberals. They're Marxist.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the New Jersey Trump rally down here. New Jersey, that's no bastion of conservatism. And I can't remember how long. I think this is only a week later. This is a Biden rally in a blue area.
Yeah.
This is Trump in a blue area. This is Biden in a blue area.
Can you imagine Trump throwing a rally at a high school gym?
Yeah, the line would go wrapped around the building for miles.
Yeah. It might be hard to find a high school gym, though, because Biden's tied them all up with illegals.
That's just absolutely amazing, man. Yeah, I haven't seen what the number is right now, but I mean, he's raised hundreds of millions of dollars ever since. It's up to $400 million. Holy fuck. Last time I checked, it was 2.
That's what Benny Johnson tweeted out, a video of Trump saying that he made $400 million since the conviction.
Well, there was one woman that donated $100 million.
Wow.
She was some, she obviously has to be a very rich person. There's nobody that I recognized or knew about, but she dedicated $100 million to get Trump reelected.
That's insane.
And what's also
give that kind of money away? Like,
Well, are you
100
allowed?
even that twit on Facebook, he put out like what, something under a half. No, I guess he was like 450 million. So
Well, I'm
never
wondering
mind.
if you're allowed
Never
to
mind.
donate that much.
My math is not good.
I think the max you're allowed to donate to someone is like, was it like $4,800? So it must be some sort of super PAC that she donated to, right?
Oh, it's got to be something because they make
Yeah.
rules. You know, if you want
Right.
the camel's nose in the tin, you just forget to tie it shut.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, that's not the right one. I want to play a video. Trump was at the UFC. And my
Oh,
that was
your
just
video
recent.
will get claimed if you show any part of that video.
it's well, no, they'll claim monetization. I don't monetize these live streams
Okay.
anyways.
Gotcha.
I'm not. Yeah, I would rather the amount of views. I get a couple hundred views on these live streams. I would rather that's only like pennies. I might get 15 cents on that. So I'd rather you guys not have to bother with those fucking ads to watch here. By the way, man, is anyone else sick and tired of those fucking beavers on the Rumble ads? You know what I'm talking about?
I don't because
Snuff,
I use
good stuff.
Well, it took me a while to understand that they were talking about those little packets of Copenhagen or whatever it is they stuff in your cheek.
Mm-hmm.
But the pouches or whatever.
Yeah.
But they make it sound like because they're beavers, somehow your teeth stay clean. Yeah. Yeah. Well, nobody was ever worried about the color of your teeth. It's your gums are rotting. Your cheek is being eaten through.
Oh, dude. I'm so that song, man. There's been so many times I'll pull up a fucking Rumble video and it'll play twice in a row. You gotta sit there and wait for 5 seconds listening to that shit before you can fucking skip the ad.
Yeah, but you know who you can blame for that is the My Pillow guy. He proved that all you got to do is just keep putting commercials out there for everything, the same time, same shows, always. Next thing you know, you're a multi-millionaire. Well, that's what they're doing now. They're just buying these little bursts. I'm thinking about taking up snuff too.
Hey, I met Mike Lindell. He's
Or
a super nice,
Copenhagen,
guy.
whatever they call it.
You met
yeah,
Mike Lindell?
Yeah, Mike
in
Lindell.
Congress.
Yeah. I'm just saying that he took advertising to the place where it was like one of us is going off the roof.
Well, I mean, he figured out what was going to work, and
Yeah,
X amount of money equals X amount of sales. So
yeah, and they proved him right.
All right, I finally found a video that isn't some fucking left-wing fucking news company talking about Trump. What's up, Steven? North Carolina in the house. What's up, man? Welcome. North Carolina Patriot is present and accounted for. Evening, fellow Patriots. Evening. Where are you at in NC? I spent 5 years around the Fayetteville area. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Fort Bragg, Fayetteville, Vietnam. All right, so this is not the official video, but just check out this fucking crowd and the excitement here, man.
Wait a minute.
This is in New Jersey.
What was the date on that? Wasn't that June 2024?
This is June. Yeah, this just happened a few days ago.
Right. I thought you said you were looking for a different one.
No, I was just looking for any video to show this entrance. But
This is the most recent one. Yeah.
The only videos I could find was fucking YouTube pushing those goddamn fucking left-wing articles on me.
I think it's because it got taken down on YouTube in most places. It's pretty much only on Twitter. So
no, it's YouTube. It's their algorithm. They never want to see anything that's pro-Trump. That's exactly what it is.
That's probably true too.
Just look at that, man. He's a fucking rock star, dude. When has there ever been a president this popular, man? I mean, there's been plenty of presidents that were really popular, but not rock star level fucking popular. Oh, smiles. They are so excited to see him. Yeah, real Wade. Yeah, you're right. Reagan was very popular, but not like this, man.
No, Reagan just, he didn't have this. This wasn't his style.
Yeah, this is next level,
Trump
dude.
gets right in with the people. Look at that.
Yep. Damn shame they're playing Kid Rock. No, screw that, Shadow. This is fucking awesome. I guess you're just not a Kid Rock fan. I'm a huge Kid Rock fan. Fucking love it, man. God dang, this is just, it's incredible, man. And of course, this is like right after the conviction announcement.
Yeah.
Again, I'd have to do some more deep searching, but so many of the fighters, when they won, they would shout out saying, "I love you, Trump. I'm donating to you." Hop over the fence and get down there on her knee and just show them all this love, man. Oh, it's incredible. It's fucking
I was gonna
incredible.
say the main fight. I can't remember the two fighters, but I'm just a casual UFC fight fight watcher. But yeah, the dude that won hopped over the fence and just started shaking Donald Trump's hand.
Yep. They all want to get down there. They're posing with him and everything.
Yep.
It's incredible, dude. Yeah. The American badass. I mean, that's why they're playing it, man, because Trump is the American badass. That's why they're doing that. It's fucking great. Oh, come on, Shadow. I see your criticism there. He's got plenty of original songs, dude. Come on now. That's not fair. So yeah, what do you guys think? Do you think Mike, do you know how the appeals court works? So they have to go to the New York appeals court, correct?
Yes, that's the first step.
Which, of course, I'm sure we can all assume is going to be just as rigged as the trial.
That's the current expectation, that they'll not change anything. And then from there, as far as I know, it goes like into the never world of federal appeals courts to get to the higher, but I don't think there's, once you go out of the, they have to go to the Supreme Court in New York State, I think, if you go through that process. You have to use up all the courts, one right after the other.
Oh, yeah.
And so once you get to the highest state court, then I guess you have to start into the federal system. And I don't know, it's like how that works. But what the plan, at least the way I've been hearing it, is they will go to the Supreme Court. They're going to bypass. But they, like all the lawyers get together and they start plotting stuff. And they say, well, this would be the best route. So all we get is get released to us. But ultimately, they believe Trump plans to go as quickly as possible to the Supreme Court.
Yeah. This is still...
Well, there's a reason to do that as well.
Yeah.
If on all the lower courts, it's not decided for anything other than just on that local level. Go to the Supreme Court, and this decides that no president will ever be tried for stupid shit like this. It gives him back like all the freedoms that are supposed to be granted to the president, all presidents.
Yeah, and I still don't like the entire conviction itself. The entire trial was so fucking confusing. I watched Crowder did a really great job on his show to explain how this all happened and all the fallacies, how they rigged everything. It is so fucking confusing. I can't explain everything, but one thing I can definitely say, at least, is that the crime that they're claiming that he committed, one, they claim it was a falsifying records, but that's not even it. They're trying to claim it was an FEC violation, that he paid money in violation against the election laws, but that is not even the case. On the record, on all of this fucking shit, they say that he's found guilty of falsifying records, which is not a federal law. So they're trying to make a state level law into a federal law by trying to claim that it's connected to election interference law, which makes no fucking sense at all. None. So that's also why I'm so confused. How can he even be found guilty of a felony when he wasn't tried by a federal court? Is it possible for state courts to try felonies?
No.
Does anyone else have any input here? Because I'm flabbergasted.
I do.
I have no
So-
clue what the fuck this is all about.
I just supercharged you a shot, by the way.
I saw
I
that.
think-
I saw that.
I
Get on
think
my
that
soapbox, man. You can't take me down from my soapbox when I'm good.
I think that they are going to let up after this. They just got what they wanted, which was to be able to call him a convicted felon over and over and over in the mainstream media. We've already seen it, but I think that they underestimated people like us, all the streamers, and telling their audience exactly how messed up it is, how it shouldn't have happened, and people are a bit more educated now.
Yeah, they made this entire thing so convoluted. Like I said, I was kind of surprised myself. I'm like, I think I am actually explaining this pretty well. I didn't think I could.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's also so many other layers to it. Like I said, if you go back and you watch Crowder, I can't remember. I think it was from Monday. I think he gives a really good breakdown. Go find Steven Crowder's channel if you don't already on either Rumble or YouTube, and he explains it very well on there. But yeah, they make it so confusing, and like you're saying, also even the jury instructions were rigged as well. They're saying like you don't have to, the judge literally said you don't have to have a 12-person consensus, which is not legal. That's not how our justice system works. I can't quote the actual statutes. I don't know where it is. Like, is it a law or what? But in any case, every single court in our country says you must have 100%. All 12 jurors must say guilty for conviction. And he specifically in the instructions said you can do like 4-4-4, and that's good enough.
And I think, again, they assumed that if everything came back as guilty, most people would just think, oh, Trump is guilty, and not look into it any further than the headlines.
Yeah, exactly.
As the polls show, that's not true, right?
Right.
So I think that they will let up on it, because I think that it's a losing battle on their end. Yeah, they could probably fight it over and over and over, but I mean, if you keep fighting it with money, they're eventually going to win, because logic isn't going to hold up. And it might have to go to the Supreme Court, but I don't know or think that they will go that far, because they have to throw money at it also.
Well, I don't think they're worried. I mean, just look at what Hollywood does with all their fucking movies. They can throw all the money out there as they want, and they keep on failing. They don't care. They just keep on spending that money.
I think it's just a pre-election move, in that things might change after.
Yeah, I know you're absolutely right.
I don't know if I'm right. That's my theory. So
no, I mean, no, you're right that it's all election interference what they're doing, but exactly where they're going to go with it from here is the question. A lot of people think that, like you're saying, think that it's all for show. They're not really going to put him in jail. People like Dan Bongino. Dan Bongino is 100%. He says no bullshit. I think absolutely they will throw him in jail. And what he's really worried about is that even though federal law says that wherever the president or former president, wherever the Secret Service, that wherever they are can become federal property, and they are allowed and must be authorized to protect the president in any way, shape, or form. He used the example that when he was, for anyone who doesn't know, which I think you all do by now because I talk about him all the time, Dan Bongino was in the Secret Service. He's even a Secret Service instructor. He knows exactly what he's talking about. He was on the presidential detail for Obama. He says that if oh god dang, I just squished a bug on the inside of my beer mug. Ew, just streaked along there. He used the example that if the president wanted to go into, like, say, an ice cream shop because Biden needs his ice cream, then they go in and say, hey, they'll have their advance, the people who go first, go in and say, hey, is it okay if the president comes in here? Then yes, and they'll instruct them, okay, this is the process we now have to do. We're going to lock down this area. They have to completely permit who's going to come, who's come and go. It's perfectly all right for the people to say, no, I don't want that here. Then they just won't go in there. But that will be the case. That ice cream shop is now federal territory, and the Secret Service have the right to lock that down. Yeah, yes, Yo Pops. I will get to it, man. I'll get to the shot. I've got it poured. It's ready to go. So this is what's going to happen if they want him to go to prison. If they want him to go to Rikers, they can say, no, we don't want you guys here. But of course, they're not going to say that. So they have to let them in. And then by law, the Secret Service have the authority to lock down an entire wing of that jail and control exactly who comes in and who comes out because to protect Trump. And that is just going to be a massive nightmare on their part. But what Bongino is worried about is that they could interfere. And they're also concerned. He's also concerned that it's been shown through a lot of shit that's been going on with the Secret Service that the Biden appointee of the head of the Secret Service, a female, who's probably diverse, probably something like Asian, probably gay, that she may very well remove Trump's Secret Service detail.
I heard a theory about that. Yeah.
Yeah. They very well may do that. They very well may put Trump in jail, remove the Secret Service detail with the intention to have him killed in prison. And God bless our country if that happens, because if that happens, that's some bad shit's going to happen, man.
Yeah, I don't even know what's going to happen. It's not good.
No. The minute it even gets to the point where they're taking him without Secret Service protection, that's going to be the catalyst. You don't wait until after the fire's out of control. I mean, that's my fear. And they're pressing to do that because that's the way they are. That's what they want.
Yeah. Andy Pickles. Yeah, they denied RFK Jr. A Secret Service detail, which is exactly unheard of. He's one of three prominent presidential nominees, and never in our history has somebody like him been denied a Secret Service detail. Yeah. And the reason is because the left don't like him. They don't like him. There's two ways that they know that will hurt him. One is he's got to spend a shit ton of money. Having been trained in executive protection, people the kind of protectees who's guard RFK right now, you would not believe how expensive it is. There's a reason why there's a lot of people out there. People think like there's always like when you get high profile people out there, like they've got like a Secret Service detail. There's like 10 guys around them all the time. No, it's so expensive that more often than not, it's just one dude. Look at what happened to Kim Kardashian. When that happened, it was just one dude. And I met that dude, by the way, at a protection detail conference. It's just one guy. So what RFK is paying for right now is so much money. And that hurts him politically because now he can't use that money for ads or anything else. But also the other side, he might get killed. They want him out. They don't want him on the trail. So. All right. We can circle back to that, but for right now, we gotta take a shot. Cause Alec Baldwin's finger donated $20. Oh, you didn't have to do that, but I appreciate it. You want to just go ahead and read your own comment?
They got what they wanted. Now mainstream media can parrot convicted felon.
Yep, that's absolutely it. And you know what? We're all saying it. Because guess what? I can sit here proudly and say, I'm going to vote for a convicted felon. And y'all can suck my fucking dick about it. Yeah, it's not hurting us. It's not hurting us. Look, I put on my thumbnail. We're voting for an outlaw. I'm not upset about it. You guys can sit there and fucking celebrate that. Hey, you stupid motherfuckers are going to vote for a convicted felon. And we're sitting here flipping the bird. Yeah, we're going to vote for a convicted felon. Yeah. It doesn't hurt anything.
It's like the meme with Michael Scott. I'm going to vote for him even harder.
Yeah. All right. And with that, thank you very much. And you get to let's tase Dermy in the face.
There you go. That's the stuff. I like the intensity. Eye of the tiger. Good. You're holding 50,000 volts, little man. Don't be afraid to ride the lightning.
In the face! In the face!
In the face. Cheers to you, ABF. I appreciate that, buddy.
Yeah, you're welcome.
You've been a great supporter of the channel. I'm glad you. How did you find me, anyways? Was it because Gary came on?
I think it was through 3PO.
Oh, when 3PO came on, or when I was on his show?
I can't remember. It was some crossover. Maybe it was when you went on his show.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad you
remember
found me.
exactly. Yeah.
All right. What else do you guys think about this Trump thing, man?
Just have to wait and see, I think.
Yeah. There's been just the court cases, the other, 3 that are pending have been pretty much put on hold, permanent hold.
Yep.
So the longer all that takes, the closer it gets to the November election. That's really where it's all going to start to come to a head. And depending on how the election goes, we've seen that show before.
Yeah, and all those cases are falling apart.
Oh, yeah.
Right now, the Fannie Willis shit in Georgia, they're predicting that case is about to get tossed out. The Mar-a-Lago case with the classified documents, fucking all kinds of evidence coming out that's
the best part in that one is the judge now is looking at Jack Smith's appointment to special counselor or whatever the hell he's called, that it wasn't legal. It shouldn't have been done. Well, he goes away. That's the end of all that shit.
In what way? I hadn't heard that.
His appointment, because he's a civilian, he came from, if you recall, he was some kind of a justice over in the Hague court or whatever. And you know his history, right? I mean, he's been a bad prosecutor for years.
Oh yeah, like so, he doesn't win anything. He never wins any cases.
He's been overturned in the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
But they shipped him off to Europe to be like in the Hague court. They brought him back and they made him the special prosecutor. Well, according to the Constitution or whatever, the position he is, you just can't give somebody that job. They have to be appointed and go through like the Senate hearings and all that shit.
Right.
None of that was done.
So they just popped him in there.
Yeah. So he's not valid. What he's doing is not legally authorized.
That's amazing. So yeah, you're right. So he should get removed, and that will remove the case.
Well, that would be the end of that one because he's the one that brought the case in the first place. For anybody there's so many mistakes that have already been made, and all they do is highlight what a bad person, bad prosecutor he is. He doesn't have a case. He's making the case.
Yeah.
Literally out of, what do they call it? Cloth.
I know what you're talking about. But yeah, I mean, there's so many things. Yeah. Like the fact that they actually gave a kill order saying that you can use lethal force when this is unheard of in this kind of situation. They were literally just there the other day before the raid happened and talking about the documents and saying that you need to put a padlock on this door and whatever. And then they say, oh, now you got to go in guns drawn and you have authority to use lethal force. That shit don't happen. In situations like that where there shouldn't be a threat, you don't even go in with guns. I mean, obviously they have the pistol on the hip, but
it's the president of the United States.
Yeah.
Why would there be a gunfight? And that, I believe, is probably what they were hoping for, that somehow the Secret Service would become defensive.
Confrontational,
and at that point, yes, they could claim, well, who shot first?
Yeah.
What was it when, what's the place down in Texas burned up all those years ago? Waco.
Mm-hmm.
They're still arguing, or maybe not anymore, but who was the one that fired the first shot that started the whole thing? And why were they there in the first place for something that could have been handled differently? But that's what they're hoping for, is some kind of newsworthy big issue where everything gets so muddied so quickly that It's years before that anybody can sort it out.
Yeah. What's up, gals in the chat? Yeah, it says I'm sorry, guys. Something came up. I couldn't make it tonight. Miss you all. Yeah, we miss you too. Yeah, she did let us know in the in our group chat that she's going to be running late, but it's all good, gal. I know you got a lot of shit going on, so you are just fine. I just hope things get better for you over in your territory there. Yeah, I know you're right. Like, yeah. ABF. I know you're right that it was all for show also, but the guns thing, put in deadly authorization. That is, I mean, that's next level. Yeah, like
That is true.
of having the long guns, but they never expected that it's going to get out that they gave a kill order.
Yeah.
And what Mike was saying, I'm sure you're absolutely right. If they would have gone in there and the Secret Service says, no, you can't have it. You were just here. We're following all the directions. Then they upgrade. They go to the next level. You're going to move, or we're going to, or take whatever action, whatever their next steps are, and that could escalate to all of a sudden, fucking feds are now drawing guns on the Secret Service.
We've moved to DEFCON 4.
Yep.
Maybe they authorized it because they were like bonus points if it happens.
Exactly. If that were, exactly. And this is what I'm saying, guys. This is why I keep on saying out here. We do not need to commit violence in any way, shape, or form with anything that's going on. I know there's so many people who are pissed off. They want shit to happen. I keep on hearing people saying, like, our forefathers fought for this country in the Revolutionary War for much less. I get that. But they want the psyop. They want the messaging. That's why they're able to use January 6th so effectively. We will not win the info war if someone takes violent action on our side. And exactly like in this situation, I guarantee they had a narrative written up. If that were to happen, if they had a shooting war with the Secret Service, I guarantee they already had something written up and planned to say, look, this was Trump's guys. These were far right extremists in these Secret Service agents, and they were just willing to kill for Trump. Yeah, I'm sure. Like, I can't even get into their fucking heads, but I guarantee you it would be like the same thing on January 6th. Half of this country would absolutely believe now that Trump died because of white supremacist extremist Secret Service agents or some shit like that.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Dude, I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, this is what they do. And like I was saying, I'll bet anything. There's CIA fucking PSYOP department that's working on all this shit, man. They're working on the narratives. They know exactly what they're fucking doing. It is all strategically in place, man. But we can still win. This is the thing, is that we can still win. If they don't kill him, we can still win the ballot box, because I promise you, we're going to overwhelm the cheating. They're going to cheat. They're going to try. They're probably going to be blatantly. It's probably going to be worse than what happened in 2020. But we can overwhelm the system, and we can still win. I'm telling you, it can happen, man. I'm telling you, there's so much enthusiasm. There are so many people who are flipping over from the left. People who voted for Biden are now saying, screw this, I'm voting for Trump. I've heard so many people say, I've been a lifelong Democrat, but I will never even vote for a Democrat again because I see what's happening. This is really happening in real time, guys. I'm telling you, we can win this. And if we win, if Trump wins, even though I was talking with somebody today, 2025, no matter what happens, no matter who wins, is going to be some bad shit. It's going to be very bad. If Biden wins, and they'll only win by cheating, and we'll see the cheating. Like I said, it'll likely be worse than 2020. It'll be so blatant. And there's going to be, I'm telling you, man, I'm not encouraging it, but there's going to be some violence on our side. I'm not going to condone it, but it'll likely happen. If Trump wins, it'll be the next summer of love, which of course is the summer of violence. They are going to lose their fucking minds, man. No matter what happens, 2025 is going to be very rough. But give the time for Trump to right the ship, and I guarantee it's going to fucking happen. And the people who are not extreme fucking lunatics will finally learn when they see, especially their pocket gets filled up with money again. They're going to see that they have been lied to this entire fucking time, and it will drastically hurt the political left in a way that if it doesn't kill the entire Democrat Party, it'll at least take a very, very long time for them to fucking recover. Because they're gonna see. They're gonna see that under Obama, things were not really that great. Trump came in and things were fucking awesome. Biden came in and it was worse than fucking ever. And then Trump came back and things got right again. That will prove to everyone that they were lied to. Trump was right the entire fucking time. What are you gonna say, ABF?
I was going to say one of the greatest things that Trump ever did was make our country energy independent.
Yeah,
because that meant we didn't have a reason to go drop bombs over in the Middle East anymore.
right. Yeah, we were making our own oil. Imagine that concept.
Yeah. So I mean, that was one of the things. A lot of people don't realize when it comes to the economy. Whenever people say it's bad or inflation, this and that, when gas is high, everything is high. So.
Yep. Well, and obviously it doesn't help when gas is high and then everything else is fucking sucking at the same time. I mean, just an entire fucking perfect storm of shit that's hurting everyone's fucking wallet right now. You know, everything, the inflation, gas. My brain's not working right to be able to name everything else, but it's just the perfect storm, man. It's killing every single fucking American right now.
Yep. I got my neighbor complaining about grocery costs, and I'm like, well, maybe vote different.
Yeah, exactly. If their policies don't get us first, I mean, I assume you mean before the election, dude. There's gonna be some fucking bad shit. I don't know what they're gonna do, but there's gonna be some bad shit's gonna happen very fucking soon, man. Very soon, because they're gonna try to set up something for another, race baiting thing. I'm very surprised we haven't already seen BLM popping up again, because you see those Google searches. If you look in Google search history, every 4 years BLM becomes one of the most searched fucking terms. And guess what?
Yes and no. It's every 8 years, because it becomes so unpopular after being used. You have to wait 4 years for people to forget.
Yeah,
it's like in every other election cycle thing.
Yeah. What's up, Roy Rats over on the Rumble side? What's up, man? Dropping those emojis over there. I still got to get my own emojis on Rumble. I keep on forgetting to do that. All right. Let's get things start wrapping up here. We're not going to leave yet. I'm going to pull up one more thing on here, but I know that ABF here is going to have to take off, and we're coming up on 2 hours, so we might as well just wrap up the show here. But I'm going to put the ticker down here in case anybody wants to drop any more super chats before we take off. Obviously, $20 or more, we'll do some shots. Not a requirement, but a fun game to play, especially if you guys are playing along at home. Here we go. This is going to put a smile on everyone's face, and this is another sign that we are going to win very big. Another sign of the fact that the left is so incredibly cannibalistic, they will eat themselves. Here is, guess what? It's June, everybody. So that means it's Gay Pride, which obviously is now everything fucking weird Pride Month. And here's a Gay Pride parade being stopped by who? Pro-Palestine is stopping their own fucking people. Check this out. No pride in genocide. They're clever. Fucking morons. They are so dumb. You love to see it.
Uh-oh, retard alert.
You love to see it, man.
Yeah, Hamas has promised that in support of Gay Pride Month, they will not throw any gays or LGBTQs off any building taller than 2 stories.
It's so great. It's so great. Those psychopaths, pro-Hamas people, are the same people who are all those are all the fucking I support the current thing crowd. and they're out there trying to stop a gay pride parade when all those people, I guarantee all those people are also on the whole fucking screw Israel, pro-Palestine, and they're just pissing each other off. Give me a break. I can't wrap my mind around how these protesters think that this wins anyone over when they're out there on highways, stopping cars, out there stopping parade. You're just making people more angry at you. What do you think this is going to accomplish?
Chaos. Behind me, you can see there's a burning building, but it's still a fairly peaceful demonstration.
ABF, what do you think, man?
Now, didn't almost the exact same thing happen in New York, like within a day? Maybe it was even the same day.
I don't know.
And I think it happened in another state and city also. But pro-Palestinians ran into gay pride parades and they got halted, and there's video of it. So kind of funny.
I'd love to check that out.
Yeah,
Roret. Fuck these people. Let them tear themselves to shreds. It's gonna happen, dude. They're fucking I'm telling you, man, the pendulum is swinging in our direction really, really well. I'm feeling very good about and optimistic about what's coming up.
We need to make sure that we help it swing, steady. Don't be a bunch of idiots. Fight people with facts and logic.
Yep. And don't get complacent and overly positive. There is not going to be any red wave. Understand that. That whole red wave shit, that came from the Democrats to get people to think, oh, it doesn't matter. We're going to win so fucking well. I don't even have to worry about it. No, fuck that shit. You need to get out there and vote, and you need to get other people to get out and vote. That is how important this is. There's not going to be a red wave. They are still going to try and cheat, but we can absolutely still fucking win. All right, it can happen, but getting complacent, it is not. It will not happen if we get complacent and overly assured of ourselves that we're going to win. Get out there, vote, and get other people to vote. Push the message out there. If you thought about doing YouTube yourself, do it. Get out there. You may get just a couple people watching you, but get your message out there. Do the same thing like I'm doing right now. We don't have 500 people watching right now, but the few people that we do, let's see, I think we got 19 watching on YouTube, 18 watching on Twitter, and 8 people watching on Rumble. Those are not, Gary Nerdrotic numbers, but I'm still happy and appreciative of every single one of you who are watching. And I hope that you'll take this information that we're giving you and spread it to other people, at least by talking to other people. Or like I said, make your own channel. If you only get a couple of people watching, hey, hell yeah, people want to watch what you're doing and spread the information on them. And they may spread the information to other people. We need to get this spread out, man. We need to get the support out there. We need people to understand how important this is. This absolutely is the biggest election of our lifetime. I know we keep saying that like every 4 years now, but it's absolutely true. Every 4 years, it's getting more and more important, and this is the number one most important election of our lifetime. Old man Mike, who's been around it through a lot of elections, would you not agree?
Totally do. The longer it takes to turn this around, the harder it will become, and the less likely it can happen. And if anyone doesn't believe that, every society has a lifespan, in that if we're not careful, we could lose ours way before any of the other great civilizations. And if that happens, we'll be the last great experiment in giving free people the right to live free for God knows how long again.
100%. ABF, you got any last thoughts on that before we sign out of here?
Yeah, just like I was saying before, facts and logic. Don't do anything rash. Just be gentle with people. They all are. If they will change their minds, they're going to do it very, very slowly. So you're not going to change any minds by being super rash with them. So you got to just move people very slowly.
There's Okay, so the way this gets breaking down, if you look at when we're talking about the audience, like if right now, if I did have a big audience right now of say 100,000 people watching right now, you've got one audience is the audience who are on our side. There's a second audience that could be in there who are trolls. Let's say, they're trolls. It doesn't matter what I say. It doesn't matter if I pull up FBI statistics on gun shootings and everything like that. They'll still say guns are bad. But there's a third audience watching. That third audience is the reason why we're doing this, and the reason why we keep putting information out there, and the reason why we can't stop. That third audience are the people who are sitting there and maybe are slightly left or center who voted Democrat, who voted for Joe Biden. And they're sitting there going, damn, these guys are right. Like they just showed that video of this, or they just showed the FBI statistics of this. Maybe I was lied to, maybe. And they're on that fence. And the more we get the real facts out there, and again, we're not fucking shouting at them. We're not fucking telling them that if you don't follow us, then you ain't black or any shit like that. We're saying exactly like you're saying, ABF. We're putting the information out there in a friendly way. We're telling them that no matter what the way you feel, we're still we'll still be friendly to you. We're not gonna sit here and call you istophobic phobophobes. We're going to have a reasonable discussion. We can talk and disagree with each other, but I'm going to give you the facts, and it's your choice if you want to accept them or not. Maybe you'll believe me, maybe you won't. But there's plenty of people out there who will believe us, and they will come to our side. We got it. We're talking to that third group out there, guys. So,
yeah. When you do encounter somebody that's like, you know what, maybe Biden is a bad guy and I'm not going to vote for him. Well, maybe you shouldn't make fun of him. Maybe you should just, pull out the blanket and put it around his shoulders and say, welcome,
That's right. That's right. Okay, we're going to wrap up here in a minute, but before we do that, Dexter's Lure Lab gifted 10 Vets Talkin memberships. That's a 50. Thank you, Dexter. I don't think I've even seen Dexter in the chat before. That's awesome. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate that. Let me know if you're new here. Thank you so much. With that, we do have a tradition. Also every $20 and I do a shot, but it's always a half shot. But I do have a full shot for you right here, buddy. There does Mike too. But hold on, Mike. Hold on. First, because this is one of my favorites, I'm going to give you one video, and you get to shoot Dermy in the dick.
I'm freaking out.
Okay, go.
Thank you, Dexter. God bless America, man. I'm glad I'm drinking something smooth. I forgot to get my regular Redneck Riviera, so I'm drinking Old Camp Peach Pecan. And god dang, when I do full shots of Redneck Riviera, as much as I love it, it is rough. It burns like a motherfucker going down. So this is much smoother. I appreciate that. So yeah, look at all those amazing new members popping in of the Tropic Thunder membership. Thank you so much to all of you. Roy Rad, thank you to being over there on Rumble side, buddy. Thank you for checking us out. All right, let's go around the horn. Hey, Mike, where can people find you?
Right here at home.
Don't dox yourself.
Yeah, I'm like, he could be getting to Biden age where he might give us his address.
Well, I still eat that 1 minute oatmeal. I can't get much farther from home than he does.
Thank you very much for being on here, Mike. We got to get you on more often. Keep on popping up, and maybe you'll pop into the intro here at some point. I know you asked me about that. You wanted to get your own part of the intro.
Yeah,
you gotta come on a little more frequently, buddy. Thanks so much to Alec Baldwin's finger, fucking rocking, dude. Thank you so much. One of these days we're gonna have to get you on Skinamax Saturday as an official guest. We'll talk to you and have a chat about your background. And you got a channel now, right?
I do. I have my own channel. I don't really pimp it out, but I have a gaming channel where we talk about different gaming news and stuff like that on Monday nights. And we also the thing that I do like to push, because made a bunch of friends in Orlando, and we started a podcast together, which got me into it. The channel called The GCA. And we talk about pop culture and movies and all kinds of great stuff over there.
And what does the GCA stand for?
The GCA, I believe Mo let the cat out of the bag on one of your other streams, but is actually supposed to be a secret, and we were letting other people put two and two together. So,
okay. Well, don't say it then. I don't even remember what he said.
You were drunk as hell, so
I'm not surprised. I am not surprised. Yeah, I barely even remember having him on. That was a pretty drunk night. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's I saw you guys pop up. Yeah, on Friday Night Tights. Super Chat popped up, and they had a whole conversation about that.
And that's not even us. That's just the other community members that like excited for us, and they keep super chatting on our behalf. And
that's awesome.
I've been telling people to calm down a little bit because they're getting crazy. So
that's awesome. Yeah. Hey, thank you, Nagradnall. God, I that name is just rough. Popping in the shots emojis there. Oh, Professor Savage Dad, what's up, man? This is we're getting to wrap up here, but I forgot we did have a video when we were talking about Normandy. I was supposed to play this, and I'll get back to it because ABF here did do the research, and I didn't pull it up. I apologize, but let's end on our amazing commander-in-chief at the Normandy ceremony. Just watch what happens here, because it's a ceremonial event. Everyone's standing because there's pomp and circumstance going on. When should you sit down during one of these ceremonies? Common sense says sit down when everyone else is sitting down. But watch what our amazing commander-in-chief does.
Distinguished guests, please welcome the Honorable Lloyd J. Austin.
Dude. One thing you can notice that right here, you can see Jill has her hand up.
Mommy got to go potty.
Look at the vet in the background with his hands like this. He's like,
oh my God.
What is he doing?
That's a load.
I'm 104 years old, and even I'm not that retarded. Oh God, just look at this. This is our fucking president, guys. This is the man who, if we don't get Trump reelected, this is the guy who's going to run the country for another 4 years. It's just, like I said, like people, I think he's trying to sit down. That's the weird part. And then right there, I think she says, don't sit down. And he just lingers there. That goes on for a while longer. It's too bad this clip stops there. Because, yeah, that goes on for a while longer.
Yeah, is there a full clip out there? Because I really want to analyze that.
Yeah, there is. Because I've seen the clip where he just stays there until everyone does finally sit down, and then he sits down. This guy, he's so gone. It's in his head. Okay, I'm going to sit down now. Wait.
Joe, don't do it. There's no chair behind you. What?
What do I do? I guess I'll just stay here. I'll just stay in this pose right here.
I think there is a chair, actually.
It's not like the entire world is watching this.
You can see the armrest. There is a chair back there.
There's a chair
has no
behind
idea
him.
what to do in the procedure.
Yeah, and like I said, when you watch the full video, you do see him sit down finally. But dude, yeah, I see somebody said Nagradal said, or someone, Professor Savage said he's pooping. I know people were saying, like we were talking about this backstage, that people think this is no, there's a whole nother video. There's another video out there where it looks like he's fucking pooping. There's a whole nother one.
He was standing in front of the beast, I think, is when the pooping one happened next to a Secret Service.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, yeah. There's another one. Like we've seen him do this before on stage, and there's another incident where he was doing this. It's him trying to hold his shit in.
That's how my That's how my niece poops
Don't shit.
when she's like 4 years old. That's what she looks like.
Yeah, that's what he's doing. When you see him doing this, he's trying to hold his turd in. It ain't happening.
Get me the bad cop guy. I want to set this one on fire on a porch.
Yeah. No, I'm not talking about Poopygate. That's not the Poopygate. Although I'm sure a lot of people are probably looking at that one and thinking he's also turned. There's another event. There's like a dozen of these fucking weird, stupid, senile old man events that happen at Normandy alone. There's a whole nother one where it looks like he's pooping. That run right there is just a sign of his fucking retardation. You know, it's a whole nother one. Anyways, let's get this wrapped up. I appreciate the fuck out of everyone showing up. Too bad a lot of people you're showing up late. Go back, rewatch. We had a great conversation about Normandy, the 80th anniversary, and obviously all about Trump and the trial and the conviction and all that shit. So do be sure to go back and check it out again. We already said goodbye to old man Mike. You can find him at his home. Don't knock on his door, or leave a bunch of Biden turds on his doorstep, please. That'd be great.
Yeah, flaming even.
Yep. And and ABF. What is your channel again?
The GCA.
The GCA.
If you go to YouTube, type in the space GCA, you'll find our channel.
Awesome.
It's a blue logo.
So definitely hit him up. Throw a subscription out to him. It'd be greatly appreciated. You know, it's free, right? I heard people saying like, "Oh yeah, I'm very stingy on who I give subscriptions to." Why? If there's somebody on our side, why not? It's not like people can't even see who you're subscribed to. As long as you click there's an option you got to hit. You can keep that secret. Show the GCA some love. And I will and much love out to all of you guys. Thank you very much for being here. This is awesome. Like I was saying, I know things are very dark right now. Things are in a very bad place, but I am very confident things are getting better. I'm very happy with the direction that we're seeing. So many people who are flipping over to our side. They're even saying, I'll never vote Democrat again. Maybe someday, hopefully soon in the future, the Democrat Party will finally learn, just like Disney and Hollywood should learn in general, that this extreme leftist bullshit is not beneficial in any way, shape, or form. And they might right the ship. So again, I'm confident. I'm feeling hopeful. But at the same time, like you're saying, guys, don't get too overly confident. Get out and vote. Vote Republican on everything. That's another important thing. Do not forget about your Senate. Do not forget about your House representatives. This is very important that we get the House, the Senate, and the presidency back. Very fucking important.
Even legislature, everything is important.
Your courts, pay attention to the judges. Absolutely. You got to pay close attention. Get involved in your local elections. Local elections are incredibly important as well. So do not slack on this. Don't get complacent and get out there and get other people to vote as well. Please and thank you if you do. And thank you guys very much for everybody being here. Thank you to the chats. Thank you to the lurkers. Thank you for the super chats, including from UABF, you crazy motherfucker. Appreciate the fuck out of that. Thank you for moderators out there. And thank you for everyone who's new. Make sure you double tap that like and subscribe and share this out there with everybody, because you don't got to be a veteran to get involved with this conversation or enjoy it. Just don't get butthurt. You've been warned.